Mrs. Soludo reassures Anambra of better future under present administration. President Buhari signs into law 16 bills seeking to amend the 1999 Constitution. Kosovo and Serbia leaders hold talks to normalize ties. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra state economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good evening and glad to have you join us on the news tonight. My name is Maureen Stone Enujoke. The governor Soludo was speaking after casting his vote at polling unit 2002 or Ovuyi Umweze Iswafia, Agota Council area. Our team of reporters filed their reports from various polling centers. We have the details.
Governor Soludo adjudged the process as peaceful and commended INEC officials and security operatives for carrying out their duties with sense of responsibility. He noted that from the information available to him, there was low turnout of voters, unlike the massive turnout recorded in previous election, and expressed the hope that Anambra would turn out in their numbers to cast their votes.
The will of the people will prevail, albeit that I understand the turnout is relatively, compared to the previous one, relatively lower than the previous one. But all the same, the important thing is that the will of the people will prevail. And I want to commend INEC, REC, and the officers at the various officers of INEC, the local government, the electoral officers, and all their staff, and so on, for the effort so far.
In a similar development, Anambra State Deputy Governor Dr. Onyekachukwu Ibezim voted in its polling unit 016, Central School 1, Mbaoku, Oka South Local Government Area, alongside other voters in the unit. Dr. Ibezim, who noted that the nation's electoral laws must be obeyed by all, cautioned party agents and electorates against acts that could lead to violence or disruption of the exercise in the area. The deputy governor asked security agents manning the polling units in Mbaoku to be alert and ensure that nobody is intimidated and made to vote against their will. At the polling units visited by the ABS during the exercise, including Nkwambaoku 001, 002, 003, 004 and Akabo Village, Mbaoku, polling units 018, 019 and 020, it was observed that voting processes started around 10 a.m. and security agents, including police, Department of State Security, DSS, Civil Defense, were on ground to maintain order.
Meanwhile, the Vice President General Ohanes Ndibo Worldwide Chief Damian Okekogene has appealed to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to ensure strict compliance to the Electoral Act 2022 as amended, especially in the real-time transmission of election results using the beavers. Chief Okekogene made a call after casting his vote at polling unit 004, Etiti Village Hall, Nanka, Urumba North, local government area of Anambra State. Correspondent David Okmokwasile reports.
Of the exercise and timely officials regretted that the hitches witnessed in the February 25 polls led to the poor turnout of voters. He, however, insisted that INEC must do the right thing this time if the confidence of the electorate will be restored in the electoral process.
I had to go vote ever. Mana even notice na vote nke atụrụ atụ na kọnwa nke abụọ dị na olu mkpụrụ ụbọchị na ise. Ife sozie ni mere ọ dịka ọ jụrụ ndị mmadụ oboyi. Ị na-anya ịfụ na ebe niile nwere ebe a na-atụ vote. Ndị mmadụ apụtakịra. Mana ife dị iche na nke taa bụ na ịbịa a na-etụọ vote. Ọ bụrụ na otu a nke taa dị ka nke emere n'ụka na-abụ gara aga dị. Mana Nigeria Bogotego.
Meanwhile, ABS News reports that the exercise has been peaceful at the polling units visited in Agwata and Orumba North local government areas of Anambra State. Accreditation and voting commenced as expected at different polling units visited, including polling unit 016 Central School Ifitananka, polling unit 004 and 005 80 Village Civic Center Nanka, and polling unit 004 Central Primary School Ndiowu, Orumba North local government area, and polling unit 016 Ndekalo, Isofia Ward, Agwata local government area of Anambra State. At Amo Ward 2, polling unit 001, one of the voters, Mrs. Jessie Nwokoye, who commended INEC for the peaceful conduct of the election and improvement in the bimodal voter accreditation system machine, pleaded with the commission to ensure that their votes count by not compromising the election results for the good of Nigeria.
We are peaceful here, no problem, no argument, no clean up. So everything is in order. Yes, provided it will be free and fair. INEC will not do the amagomogo by being manipulating our votes. Let it be just free and fair. We will love it.
Another voter, Mr. Leonard Ihesinono, said the election was well organized when compared to the presidential election and commended INEC for the improvement.
Thank God, everywhere is very calm and peaceful. You can see the entire masses. Let us hope and continue our race. By God's grace, God will help all of us.
When ABS team visited Ebenebe and Amansi axis at about 12 noon, it observed a hitch-free conduct of the exercise and noted that most of voters had already voted and were waiting patiently for the votes to be counted. The team also observed the presence of security personnel patrolling their vehicles to maintain law and order. In separate reactions, Mr. Romanus Okoye, who voted at Ebenebe Ward 1, polling unit 003, and Mrs. Ifomo Okoye at Okukwa Healthcare Ward 1, Amansi polling unit 011, expressed worry on the low turnout of the electorate, but described the process as free and
Wife of the governor of Anambra State, Mrs. Noye Soludo, says her husband is working day and night to give Anambra a state that will be an envy of all. Mrs. Soludo, who stated this in Oka in a statement to mark 1 year in office of her husband's administration, said that there is no doubt that Anambra, in electing Governor Chukwuma Soludo to serve them, have appointed the best hand to take the state to a new level. We have the details.
According to the governor's wife, with what the present administration has achieved in just 1 year, Anambra must understand that Governor Soludo's leadership style is development-based and is determined to leave a legacy of good governance. Mrs. Soludo, while assuring that her husband has the best interests of every resident of the state at heart, explained that as a man who has always achieved each set goal, Governor Soludo will not leave any stone unturned in his quest to give the state the best form of leadership. The Anambra's first lady, while maintaining that she was proud of what her husband's administration has pulled off in 1 year, promised to continue to lend her support to help the current government succeed better.
Anambra State government has commenced a 5-day training for all accounting staff in ministries, departments, and agencies to achieve standard accounting practices. The training, organized by the Office of the Accountant General of the state, is holding at the Jerome Udoji State Secretariat Complex in Oka. Correspondent Chukwemeka Modelim reports.
In Governor Chukwuma Soludo for approving the funds for the training, the Accountant General of Anambra State, Dr. Chukwudi Okoli, explained that the program is for all accounting staff in the payroll of Anambra State government from grade level 7 to 16. Dr. Okoli disclosed that the exercise will get them up to date in the field of accounting, laws governing accounting profession, and how best to manage the resources of the state. The head of Financial Management Branch, Office of the Accountant General, Mr. Sylvester Atoba, said the training will help them improve in their day-to-day operations and master the best way to keep proper records of a book of accounts. One of the organizers of the training, Mrs. Angela Okoli, and Head of Treasury Operations, Office of the Accountant General, appreciated Dr. Okoli for initiating a program that encourages human capital development, adding that the exercise is a quarterly program that enhances efficient service delivery. In their contributions, some of the participants, including Mr. Sevanus Ezanoloe, Director of Accounts, Ministry of Power and Water Resources, and the Vice Chairman, Association of Accounting Staff, Anambra State, Mrs. Adeze Egwato, observed that the program is targeted at the challenges already found in the operations of accountants, adding that it has helped them to become conversant with the rudiments in accounting as well as curb fraudulent practices in the civil service. In Oka, Chukwuemeka Modelem, ABS News.
It was a moment of gratitude, show of love and appreciation as the women of the Anglican Church of the Pentecost, Oka, organized an event ahead of the Madrid Sunday. It is a week-long activity by the women, which they normally use to reach out to the needy and the vulnerable in the society. Correspondent Blessing Dennis reports.
The event, which was held in Oka, was attended by the Vicar of the Church of the Pentecost, Oka, Venerable Ekenediri Chukwunwafo, the Managing Director, Anambra Broadcasting Service, Sachido Obidiegu, clergy, youth, children, among others. The program kick-started with the march past of the four eminent families of the church, namely Grace Family, Favor, Marvelous, and Blessing Family, an award presentation to treasured fathers, and eating competition. Speaking while receiving an award, the chairman on the occasion, who is also the managing director of Anambra Broadcasting Service, Sachido, expressed appreciation to God who made it possible for him to be recognized and promised to be more committed in serving God. He recounted his sweet memories of mother's love and care while on earth, describing her as an incomparable genius.
We are here to celebrate mothers. Venerable, I want to thank you very much for this honor and the members of the church for this very honor. And I want to pray that this event will mark the beginning of a new dimension in what we are doing in this church.
The vicar of the church, who is also the archdeacon of Oka Central Archdeaconry, Venerable Nwafo, who also received an award, appreciated God's mercy upon him and said it calls for more work, adding that the day is set aside for women around the world to share love and celebrate themselves, while charging them to look back into their various homes in restoring love and be good ambassadors of the society. For the chairperson of the 2023 Modern Sunday Committee of the Church, Mrs. Chizoba Chumwike, the day was marked out for women to have fun, remember the roles they play in church, family and society at large, and appreciated Sachido for his undying support towards the growth of the church.
This is a day we decide to feed the church. So, we didn't recognize the role of the men and the fathers in the village. Without the fathers, they are not mothers. So, I want to follow regional support to all.
In Oka, Blessing Dennis, AP News.
Still to come on the news, President Buhari signs into law 16 bills seeking to amend the 1999 Constitution. Kosovo and Serbia leaders hold talks to normalize ties. And here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this break.
A peak protein breakfast gets me to a great day. How do I know? Because my daddy goes through his work feeling good and always with a smile. Mommy is always filled with confidence. My sister is always in tune. And for me, learning new things becomes absolute fun. That's because all day and every day, the peak goes on.
Start your day with a Peak Protein Breakfast. Peak. Reach for your...
Glad to have you back. President Muhammadu Buhari has signed into law 16 bills seeking to amend various parts of the 1999 Constitution. The Joint Senate and House of Representatives Special Ad Hoc Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution made this known. According to the information from the Office of the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Ahmed Wase, who is the co-chairman of the committee, the bills assented to by the President included those devolving powers from the federal government to the states, as some items were moved from the exclusive legislative list to the concurrent list in the Constitution. Many lawyers and analysts have argued for years that the exclusive legislative list, comprising matters which only the federal government could legislate on, was too heavy and that it needed to devolve power to the states. The power devolution bills that passed legislative requirements include those on power, railway, airports, and prisons, as well as biometric and criminal records. Dr. Choma Ezenyimolu has handed over the reins of power of Anambra State Primary Healthcare Development Agency to the new Executive Secretary, Mrs. Chisom Uchem. This followed the appointment of Mrs. Uchem, a pharmacist, as the new Executive Secretary of the agency by Governor Chukwuma Soludo last Tuesday. Correspondent David Opokwasili was at the brief handover ceremony at the agency's headquarters in Oka. And now reports.
That was the mood as one era ended and another began. Dr. Ezenyimolu was appointed the pioneer executive secretary and chief executive officer of the agency on inception in 2015 and completed her 2 terms of 8 years on March 14, 2023. The primary healthcare subsector in Anambra State before the creation of the agency in 2015 was one of the worst-ranked sectors in the country, rating about 7% from the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency in late 2014. But with the creation of the agency, appointment of Dr. Ezenyimolu, and the subsequent reforms initiated under her administration, the primary healthcare sector grew to become the best in the country, receiving other high-rank ratings from local and international partners. Members of staff of the agency took turns to eulogize Dr. Ezenyimolu for her reforms in the agency and in the primary healthcare subsector in the state, and for ensuring that everything that is due gets to the state. Dr. Ezenyimolu, who in her valedictory address to members of the agency described the opportunity to serve the state in that capacity as a rare one, added that she was privileged to have made impacts and improved the living standards of many. Dr. Ezenyimolu asked the staff members of the agency to give the new chief executive all the support she needs to take the agency to the promised land.
The price of hard work is more work. In anything I do, I believe it's worth doing well. So I put in the best in everything I do, no matter what it is. In fact, I'm so happy it is in-house. Every morning, something new, something new, something new. And that is how it will be for all of us in the country.
In her acceptance speech, the new Executive Secretary, Mrs. Uchem, promised to sustain the legacies of Dr. Ezenyimolu and take every step possible to ensure that primary health care continues to meet its demands to women and children in Anambra State.
I want to make it special. I want to know that Madam Elega in the button. Come on, Opa,
Kosovo and Serbia leaders have gathered for the latest round of EU-led talks as the long-time rivals come under increasing pressure to strike a deal to normalize ties. The meeting in North Macedonia comes after the two sides failed to reach an agreement in Brussels last month, where the peace plan was unveiled, even as Kosovo's Prime Minister Albin Kurti and Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić remained at loggerheads over a path forward. The 11-point document laid out a deal stating that neither side would resort to violence to resolve a dispute, nor seek to prevent the other from joining the European Union or other international bodies, a key demand from Kosovo. Serbia has long refused to recognize Kosovo's unilateral declaration of independence made in 2008, with perennial bouts of unrest erupting between Belgrade and its former breakaway province. Following the talks in Brussels, Vučić vowed never to recognize Pristina or provide a pathway that would allow them to join the United Nations or the NATO alliance. The latest round of talks followed months of shock-tool diplomacy, nearly 25 years after the war between ethnic Albanian insurgents and Serb forces sparked a NATO bombing campaign that ended the conflict. In our sports, Nigeria Super Eagles hope to solve its goalkeeping department with the promising 19-year-old England-based kid sensation Owen Olamidayo Goodman, now on the brink as he has been invited to the England under-20 team ahead of the under-20 World Cup. The goalkeeper, who is born in United Kingdom to a Nigerian mother and British father, is one of the two goalkeepers invited in the 22-member team by John McDermott, technical director. The kid sensation, who recently penned a new deal with his under-21 Crystal Palace club, is expected to report to the team camp on Sunday, along with other players. The team is expected to play three friendly matches before the departure for the 23rd edition of the Under-20 World Cup in Indonesia, scheduled between May 20 to June 11, 2023. Preparations for the summer tournament will see England play France, USA, and Germany. The English fans will have the opportunity to see some of the most exciting young players in the country when the Under-20 take on Germany at the Manchester City Academy Stadium on Wednesday, 22 March. The squad will then head to the Marbella Football Center in Spain to take on the USA Saturday, 25th March, and France Tuesday, 28th March, as preparations for this summer's tournament ramps up. Remember, you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television Oka, subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television Oka, follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV, log on to our website www.absradiotv.com. And now a recap of the main points before we go. Governor Soludo has commended peaceful conduct of Anambra State Assembly elections. Mrs. Soludo has reassured Anambra of better future under the present administration. President Buhari has signed into law 16 bills seeking to amend the 1999 Constitution. And finally, from the foreign scene, Kosovo and Serbia leaders are holding talks to normalize ties. And here is a special message before we go. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that was it on the news for tonight. Thank you so very much for watching. My name is Maureen Stone Enugu. Good night and stay blessed.